What is up, people? Welcome back to Throttling Frames. This is your host Mayur, and we're back with another beautiful video from Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. Now, have you watched the Top Gun 2022 movie? If you haven't already, please go and watch that movie. It's an amazing movie, wherein Tom Cruise, who's playing Maverick, is trying to buy some time for his research team who is building the Darkstar by proving that the prototype can do speeds like Mach 9 or even more. And Tom Cruise does succeed in reaching speeds like Mach 10, unfortunately destroying the aircraft in the process, but buying some time and budget for his research team to work on the prototype. In this video, I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to try reaching Mach 9 on the Darkstar or even speeds greater than Mach 9. Let's see what we can do. Alright, so here we are on the main menu of Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. And what we have in front of us is the beautiful India. We're not going to take off from India today. The aircraft that I've selected over here is the Textron Aviation Cessna 152 Aerobat. It's one of the easiest aircraft to learn flying on. So you'll see me flying these small single-engine flights on Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. I have a lot of them. I have the Throttling Aviation Savage Cub, the Shock Ultra, and I also have the Cub Crafters, the NX Cubs. For today's video, we're going to choose the experimental Darkstar. So the airport that I'm going to try lifting off from is, in fact, I'll just quickly type in the code. That's KXTA home. Let me zoom in and show you what exactly KXTA home is. Let me shed some light upon it. So that's 5:25 AM. Let me make it say about 8:30, and let's zoom in, and you will know immediately that this is Area 51. So it has a very long test runway that basically is used to test different kinds of aircrafts to take off and land onto. So we're going to exactly do that today, and I'm going to choose the ramp 12 parking for departure. And I'm not going to fiddle too much with the weather and time, so let's just keep it at about 5:30ish, 5:40, 5:20, 5:10, 5:30. 5:30 looks good, so let's keep it at about 5:29, 5:30. Yeah, and I'm going to keep clear skies so we can see better. Yeah, and that's that. We have selected the ramp 12 parking. We have selected the Darkstar and flight conditions. We almost have a flight plan. Let's just say fly. Alright, so here we are. We are in the cockpit of the Darkstar. What we are going to do is we can see that we have a small headlight on the helmet of the pilot that basically lets us see the things around, because the aircraft is all cold and dark. But just one flip of a switch, that's the battery, and the entire aircraft is lit like a Christmas tree. It comes to life. Yeah, we can see a lot of lights going on. Yeah. Alright, so let's bring this baby up to power. To do that, what I'm going to do is we've already started the battery, and now we're going to start the APU. By the time the APU is currently at standby, by the time it's up and ready, we will look at the brakes. Let's just turn it off and get the generators covers on. Turn on both the generators, get the covers off, and think the APU should be at RDY, that is ready, and we can fire up the engines. That's the right engine and the left engine. Now let's just wait for the engines to stabilize a little. So we can see over here on the screen, we can see the RPM is about 35%, 42%. Yeah, so they will stabilize eventually. This is the fuel that we have in the aircraft. So we have multiple fuel tanks, 2 in the wings and 4 in the center. We just have one from the center is filled, and about 2 entire fuel tanks filled off on the wings. So that's exactly the flight is currently looking like, right? So the RPM is sitting at about 63%. And we started moving because I just turned off the parking brakes. So before we start moving, I'd like to show you guys a couple of things. Let's go to base selection 3, and that's exactly what the program wants me to do to reach Mach 9. It basically wants me to climb up till say 20k, then do a inverted G dive. Let's say pull about 1 Gs, and then about 30k transition to supersonic, and then again drop down say about 20 degrees, and again 20 degrees up, and then again reach about 80k to uh, push over. I somehow just don't understand why do I really have to do this. This is one of the challenges that the game has to offer, as in the DLC has to offer. But I don't understand that this is too complicated and confusing for me. I have found a way out to actually reach Mark 9, sometimes even Mark 10. That's exactly what I'm going to try on this video, to reach Mark 10. So I'm just going to switch back to page 1 where I'm going to see all my flight details, and let's start rolling. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach at the extreme end of this runway, turn around, and fly out this way, right? So let's just start rolling. Let's not waste much time. So currently I'm trying to taxi to the apron, the end of the runway. And that's where we enter the runway. That's the runway. And I'm gonna give the flight a quick hard push so that it can reach the end of the runway quicker, because it's a very long runway. So we're gonna keep free rolling till we see a weather sock. A weather sock at the left hand side of the aircraft. Right, so there it is. There we see the weather sock at the left window, and we should be expecting, yep, there it is. So we are at the end of the runway, and let's start turning this plane around. Alright, get the parking brakes on, give it full power, release the parking brakes, and as soon as I hit about 0.3 Mach, I'm gonna lift off. That's 3 and up. Alright, landing gears retracted and waiting for a steady, stable climb. Yep. Now, as we are climbing nice and steady, I'm just going to transition to afterburners, and now we're doing full power, a good steady climb till say about 50,000. We're doing almost Mach 1 speed. We are hitting 0.98. I'm gonna pull my nose up a little so that we can continue climbing. I don't want the aircraft to have a very aggressive rate of climb. I'm just going to find a nice, good, sweet spot and trim it there so that it can climb without losing a lot of speed. Alright, so we can see we have this hybrid speedometer where there are digits in the center and we have the analog needle. It says we are at 0.98 Mach. That's almost Mach 1. We are nice and steadily climbing. We are at 13,200. That is the terrain below the aircraft. You can switch the zoom levels of the camera. So as soon as we cross about 17,000 feet, we should see Mach 1 coming up, because the air gets much thinner, the turbulence gets much lower. So obviously the resistance is much lower as we go up. We should see Mach 1 any moment now. We are at 0.99. And that's Mach 1. We're going to keep pushing. We're at about 20,000 feet now. We're going to keep pushing till we see Mach 3 on the speedometer. If we don't see it on the speedometer with the rate of climb, then we'll have to push the nose down a little so that we gain some speed by leveling out the flight. But once we successfully push past Mach 2, then we don't really have to worry about losing speeds, because then it's in a different dimension altogether, is what I feel, because you don't really lose speed post Mach 2. So we're trying to go beyond Mach 1 now. As you can see, it's nice and steadily climbing. Although the nose is rising up, so I have to keep controlling it manually. That's Mach 1.1. Nice and steady climb. Mach 1.2. That's Mach 1.4. That's Mach 1.5. We're at about 28,000 feet, heading for 30,000. We're at Mach 1.6, 1.7. And like I said, as we go high, there is much less resistance. That is the reason we are nicely gaining speed. We are almost at Mach 2. We are at Mach 2. And from here on, we will keep gaining speed faster, like I said, sort of in a different dimension. There's a lot of inertia that basically keep the flight going faster and faster and faster. We're at Mach 2.8, heading for Mach 3. That's Mach 3. Let's get the scramble scramblers on and enable the scramjets. So we're at Mach 3.63, and the sound, that was the transition between the normal engines to scramjets. Also the fuel being changed from the normal fuel to fuel cells. Let me bring down the cover, and we can see the engines are now losing power. Basically they will shut down because now we are on our scramjets doing Mach 5. You can see we are doing Mach 5. That's a nice and steady climb. We are at about 68,000 feet, 70,000 feet. That's a good, nice, steady climb. Mach 7. That's Mach 8 and Mach 9. That's Mach 9.5, 9.6. We are at 1,12,000 feet. We're going way too fast. Right, we're dropping speed. That basically tells me that I'll bring down the nose slightly. We're at a very high angle of attack. So I'll drop the nose very slightly so that we can grab the speed back. Yeah. We're at about 1,50,000 feet. Dropping speed. We should stabilize just in a while. Right. So there we are. We're gaining speed again. We're at 1,75,000 feet. Heading for Mach 9 again. At 8.8. 1,80,000 feet. One lakh 97,000. That's about 2 lakh. Heading for Mach 10. That's Mach 9.89, Mach 9.90. We're flying at about 2,30,000 feet. Like I said, the available ceiling is at 2,75,000 feet. Mach 9.94 at 2,41,000 feet. We can see the windows are starting to get red. You can see this red lining out here. That is because the speed at which the aircraft is flying, almost Mach 10. We are at 9.98. is actually heating the aircraft up crazily. That's 9.99, and that's Mach 10. We have successfully reached Mach 10 at 261,000 feet, and that's the maximum speed that I can do on the Darkstar in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 Mach 10. So yep, that was the target for today's video, to reach the speed of Mach 10 and this height of 272,000. We have done that. We are able to do that. Let's have a quick look at the aircraft from the outside. That's how it looks. You can see the transition between the sound, because we are way faster than the speed of sound. Look at the beautiful lining out there, and the entire aircraft is red hot because of the friction. The speed at it is traveling, uh, it's at Mach 10, and it's a lot of speed. So the friction is causing it to heat up a lot, and the entire aircraft is red hot because of that. So yep. But I really like the detail out here. If you are looking at the aircraft from any other angle, you won't be able to hear anything literally. Like uh, it's all silence, right? Space silence. But if you actually go right behind the engines, and if you angle it well, exactly at a particular angle, exactly at a very particular angle, you will still be able to hear the engine sounds, but you can actually hear the breaking of the barrier, of the sound barrier. That's the cracking sound. And that is because we're flying at Mach 10. So yep, that's it for today's video. We have successfully reached the speed of Mach 10 and Stratosphere, and obviously the maximum allowed ceiling probably. Yep, we are at 275,000 feet and at Mach 10. Nice and stable at Mach 10. There's a lot of speed, and that's the most that this Darkstar can do in this program, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. That's it for today's video. I shall see you guys in the next one. Till then, thank you. Bye-bye.